Okay, in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to do these little acrylic snowmen that I did on my mother's nails yesterday. So if you want to see how to do them, just stay tuned. Okay, so we're going to start on the snowman, and the products that I'm using is I'm just using a size 6 acrylic brush. I'm just using a cheap stamper that I have. It doesn't work as good as my Conad, so I just use this one to practice on. And then I'm going to be using acrylic powders that came in this little set. I'm going to be using the black and the orange, which I already have them setting out here. And I got this off of Amazon. And then I'm going to be using a white acrylic powder, just my sandy acrylic powder, and of course they're monomer. So let's get started. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off by doing the hat, because you don't want to start off doing the balls first, you know, because they're white, and if you put the acrylic hat on there, it's going to bleed onto the white, and we don't want that. So we're going to start with the hat first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a bead. It's not real big. And we're going to stick that on. Well, for y'all it would be the nail. I'm doing this with my other light off because you can just see it better. All I did was kind of flatten that ball a little bit, and what I'm waiting for it to do is I'm waiting for it to firm up, because we're going to flatten it and shape it into a square for the hat. Okay, let's press it down a little bit, see if it's about ready. Yeah, it's about ready. Make sure you dry off your brush, because if your brush is too wet, then it's not going to hold its shape. And we're just trying to shape this into a square. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, goodness gracious, it's so tiny. Okay, there's a square. Now, next what we're going to do is we're going to do the brim of his hat. And when I did this on my mother, I did these nails yesterday on her. And when I did them, it was definitely not my plan to do a snowman. She just came in and said that she wanted red glitter on her nails, and then I went from there. I was like, Mother, you can't have plain nails, because every time I do her nails, I've got some intricate design, and all her friends up at work just absolutely love it, so they're excited to see, you know, every time she goes to get her nails done, what kind of design I've done on them. So what we're doing is we're just shaping the brim of the hat. And there we go. We got a brim. Alright, we're going to let that sit up a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and put the lid back on my black acrylic because I don't want to spill it. Let that set up a little bit. Oh, in my nails today, I went ahead and I redid them, but I did not do a holiday theme. I went against the grain, and I went ahead and did kind of like a New Year's nail. And what's on the tip of my nails, I actually got it from Beauty Fanatic. I used the pink that I showed in one of my previous swaps. I used the pink right along the tips, and then I put some silver on it, and I absolutely loved it. Alright, so thanks to her. Alright, so our hat is set up enough to where it's not going to bleed onto our snowballs. So we're going to pull up a bead first for his head. Oops, there we are. And we're going to put that down. And we're going to wait for this one to set up too, because again we're going to be pressing it flat. And for the snowmans that, you know, I did on the nails, I did them just with 2 balls instead of 3, because when I was looking at it as I was building it, 3 was just too many, and it would take up too much of the nail. So I just kept with 2. Now what I'm going to do is flatten this ball down. We got a nice circle. See if my camera will focus on it. There we go. All right, that's his head. Okay, sorry my camera cut off. I ran out of storage. So we just finished his head, and we're gonna grab up another bead, a little bigger this time than the first one. I'm gonna have to get some more and add to that. I didn't pick up a big enough one. So you just want to make sure that this bead is going to be bigger than the one that you did for his head. There we go. Gonna let it set up a little bit. We're gonna smush this one down flat too. Trying to make sure I stay in frame for y'all. Okay, and there we go. So we got the snowman's hat and his body. All right, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this orange acrylic right here, and we're going to make his carrot nose. Now, I thought about painting it on there, and then I was like, oh, I think I can do it with this. So what I'm doing is I dip my brush in the monomer, and I'm picking up, well, if it'll pick up, there we go. I'm picking up just a small amount, and I'm sticking it right there for the nose, and then it's just a little ball right now. Okay, I'm going to wipe it off, and I'm letting it set up a little bit. Okay, because I'm going to drag my brush through it and turn it into a point. And yes, it's very tiny. Okay, and there we go. See if I can get some of that glare off for you. Very small. Okay, and now next, what I'm going to do is I already have my acrylic paint out, and we're actually going to paint on his scarf, his buttons, and his eyes. So here's my acrylic paint. I just need a very tiny amount of green and black, because I did his scarf green because the background was already red. So what we're going to do is start off with just a little bit. Doesn't take much because it's very tiny. And we're going to just go right here and run the scarf right around his neck like that. Then I'm going to dip again. A little too much. And we're going to paint it down. Get just a little bit more paint. Just like that. And there's a scarf. I'm going to clean off my brush. And now I'm going to make his eyes. Very, make sure you don't have too much paint on the brush, or it's going to make them too big. So there's his eyes. And then we're going to do, we're just going to finish that. And there we go. And there he is. And he's quite small, as you can see. I mean, there's my ring finger. There's my pointer. Okay, I finished painting his buttons. And there he is. And here's one that I already made, and I popped him off. he could easily go on a nail. And the ones I did on my mother, I just did them directly onto her nails. So, and as you can see, they're really small. We're going to let this little guy finish drying. And I'll set this one on my nails just so you can see how tiny he is. See, he's quite small. So I think this would be really cute on any holiday set. And I hope y'all try it out. And I hope this tutorial was helpful to you. Thanks for watching. Bye.